Managing teams is perhaps the most challenging task facing any manager. It is a dynamic process that is always evolving to accommodate changes in the diverse and complex workplace. It provides the understanding and skills that will help you to develop and manage effective and high-performing teams of satisfied and productive individuals. A team can be best described as a group of people working together to a common purpose. Teams are constituted to handle tasks that are highly complex and may also include interdependent subtasks. Team members have different skills and they normally generate synergy by way of coordinating effort which allow each of its members to maximize their strength as well as minimize their weaknesses. Each team has its own task to do and the performance will depend on how well the team members are working together. Different type of teams in the workplace. A team does not necessarily mean all its members have the same boss. This is because in some instances, team members have different bosses depending on their task. An example of such case is whereby a team is given a task where it has to design an organizational hierarchy where aspects like pay structure compromises as well as the need to have traditional reporting lines. There are also different types of teams and their name does not necessarily define their purpose for existing. These team types are classified into two. First, the permanent teams and the second, the temporary teams. Temporary teams are formed to deal with issues that come once in a while in an organization, while permanent teams are formed to handle issues that will always affect the organizations. The common ones, however, will include the task force, which is temporary team, which is specifically formed to investigate a specific matter. An example can be a task form to look into rumors that are going around the office to come up with proper details and a way forward. There is also a problem-solving team that is also a temporary team, which is assembled to solve a specific problem. There are various problems that affect the organization, and there is need to form a team to look into problems to be able to come up with a workable solution to avoid any more negatives in the organizations. Another example of temporary team is the product design team that is specially assembled to come up with new products or service. This is meant to keep the organization on level terms with the changing environment, and this will call for introduction of new products and services to better suit the organization's client. A committee is also another type of group that can be classified as either temporary or permanent group depending on the specific tasks that they are dealing with. A committee is formed to act upon a certain matter, and this can include matters like relocation of organization, reducing company expenses, or even downsizing of employees. A work group is another example of permanent team, and they handle different type of tasks which they normally receive direction from a specific leader. Another example of permanent team is the work team that is tasked in managing their own affairs, but normally within predetermined boundaries. There is also a quality circle that is permanent team that normally meet from time to time to uncover as well as solve problems in the workplace. This team is also involved in seeking work improvements opportunities. The importance of a good team player. Teams are created for several reasons. They may need to deliver a one-time project or work together on an ongoing basis. Either way, if you take advantage of a group's collective energy and creativity, the team can accomplish much more in less time. What does this mean for you? Well, teams are probably an integral part of how things are done in your organization. If you show that you have the ability to work well with others, this could have a major impact on your career. Being a valuable team member can open new career opportunities because leaders may see firsthand what a great job you're doing. You may even be invited to bring your strength into play another team setting. And in higher profile, business critical projects. This is why learning to be a good team player is so important. If you make a good impression, you never know what possibilities might open for you. Whatever your strength, you have something valuable to offer. Find a role within your team that allows you to do what you do well. This will help you make meaningful contribution and increase your chances of doing a great job. Plus, it's usually much easier and more satisfying to do tasks when you're naturally good at them. Teams usually come together to handle an issue that is difficult, if not impossible, for people to do their own. When a group works well together, creativity levels are generally higher as people tap into another's strength. This often leads to increased productivity and an inspiring sense of collaboration and cooperation that moves everyone and the project forward. The most successful teams don't just combine different technical skills. They also allow members to take on more general roles that cross traditional function lines. Stages of team development. When a group of people are first forming to a team, their roles and interaction are not established. Some individuals may merely act as observer when they try to determine what is expected from them, while others may engage the process immediately. There are many models that describe team developmental progression. They are similar and suggest that the process occurs in 5 predictable stages. Each stage is characteristically different and builds on the preceding one. The implication is that all teams must develop through this predetermined sequence if they are to be fully functioning teams. The first stage is forming, second stage storming, third stage norming, fourth stage performing, and the last stage is adjourning. The first stage is forming, or getting to know you. Team members are getting to know one another and getting comfortable with one another. Members will naturally try to understand their own roles, the roles of the other team members, and their purpose in the group. This is entirely natural and to be expected. People are unsure, suspicious, and nervous. Characteristic of forming. Look for the following behavior in the forming stage. Members trying to define the task. Lofty, conceptual discussion as people try to express who they are. Discussions about what information needs to be gathered. Question raised during this development. Do I want to be part of this team? Will I be accepted as a member? Who is the leader? Is the leader competent? How to address the forming stage. Help team member to get to know one another. Make sure the purpose and tasks are clearly defined and share management expectation of the group. Give the team time to get comfortable with one another, but move the team along as well. Next stage is storming, or high wind predicted. Politeness begins to wear off, and dissension occurs over basic mission and operating procedure. Control often becomes the primary issue. Disagreements can be either very obvious. Storming is the most difficult stage for a team to work through, but it is necessary for healthy team development. When team members begin to trust one another enough to air differences, this signals readiness to work things out. Characteristic of storming. Members begin to show their true styles. A growing impatience will surface over lack of progress. Members will get into one another's territory, causing irritation. General disagreement over process, tasks, and overall purpose of the team. Question raised during this level of development. How will I seek my autonomy? How much control will I have over others? Who do I support? Who supports me? How much influence do I have? How to address the storming stage? Don't ignore the storming stage. Acknowledge it with the team as natural developmental step. Facilitators should surface the conflicts and address them. This is a good time to review ground rules, revisit the purpose, and related administrative matters of the team.